Okay, welcome to a new episode of Farm Like a Hero, folks. Today I'm here with Molly Rygg, who runs Leagård in southern Sweden. Molly was an intern with us at Ridgedale in 2016 and went on to purchase a farm with her partner Jonas in 2017 to get established with a market garden and pastured layers whilst also having a young baby, and really starting up commercially in 2019. And Molly is really into collaborative farming and cooperative sales, and is working with Jesper, who we spoke to in the previous episode, and two other farmers to run a cooperative farm shop. And so I'd love to hear more about that. Molly, thanks so much for taking the time to be with us today.
Thank you.
It's super nice I was just reflecting, speaking with Jesper, about just the unreal chances of you finding a lot of cool people in a small town.
Yeah.
Maybe you can tell us a bit about where you're situated in the population there and how all that sort of came about.
Yeah, we live in a tiny little town called Svetokra, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, and it's about 20 minutes from Halmstad, which is the biggest city in Holland. And my husband bought the farm. We had no idea. We didn't know anyone who lived here. Jonas is from Göteborg, so we had no connection here. We just moved to this town. Yeah, we just have a church and a preschool. That's the only thing in the town. And we found out about 6 months after living here that there was another farmer. And I just looked at his website and said he's into regenerative agriculture. And I thought, that sounds interesting. So I contacted him and we went to his farm. And he said he had just done the online course with you. And I said, oh yeah, I spent the summer at Ridgedale. And we realized our farming goals were very similar, although his farm is 22 hectares, mine is 6. And then I was kind of like, can this town support 2 competing smaller farms? And I was like, if we don't work together, we're going to be competitors. And I don't think that either of us would benefit from that. So I asked him if he wanted to work together. And I think he was a little skeptical at first because he didn't know me. And it's just like, but then he said yes. And we decided to open a farm shop because Jesper had tried to do a farm shop, but his farm is a little hidden off the road. Right. And our farm is right next to, it's a kind of a busy road. It's like a shortcut between 2 places. So it's quite a bit of traffic here compared to where we are. And we decided to open a farm shop here. And Jesper's sister was actually thinking of opening her own farm shop, but she felt overwhelmed at the concept. And she makes cheese. She's been making cheese for about 3 years. And we all decided to do the farm shop together. And then there's another farmer, Andreas Matgård, who's nearby. And he was selling all of his meat wholesale. And he wanted to sell some of it retail and make a little more profit. So we just all came together. And last May, we opened the farm shop.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's like for Jonas and I, moving to a new place where we don't know anyone. And just by doing the farm shop with Jesper, his sister, and Linda and Andreas, we connected to their customer base. So for Jonas and I, it was like suddenly all these people know about us. And Linda and Jesper, they had both been doing their business like 3 years, and they already had like really loyal customers. And like they got the advantage of, we did the farm shop for them. Like Jonas and his dad built the whole thing. So they got to just like plug into it. So I think like everyone really benefited from it.
Yeah. What are the chances, huh?
What are the chances? And I mean, I just think of we're 20 minutes from Halmstad, so it's not that far. But if it was just Jonas and I with just vegetables, I don't think people would make the drive.
Yeah.
But like, for example, Linda's cheese, people will definitely drive from Halmstad for that. But they also know that we have eggs, we have honey, we have meat, we have vegetables. So it's like, okay, I'm going to drive for that.
Amazing.
Drive 20 minutes for carrots and lettuce? Probably not.
Yeah. I really want to dig deeper into this, but then I'd love to go back a step, Molly, because you don't sound Swedish. Maybe you can tell listeners a bit of the backstory, like how did you end up to be there? Like, where did your interest in food come from? I know you were working as a chef, and how did
Yeah.
you meet Jonas? How did you get here?
Yeah, I was working as a chef in kitchens my whole life, and just was kind of getting disillusioned with working in a luxury hotel company, and you don't really get to decide always what kind of food you're serving, and serving unsustainable food because that's what the customer wants. And I always had kitchen gardens, and yeah, just realizing that my favorite time of the week was when I was not working in the kitchen. I was taking care of the kitchen garden because it was like so just de-stressing, and it felt so good to be growing my own food.
Kind of the opposite of being a chef, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And I really wanted to have a child, and working in the kitchen, you can do it, but it's very hard. I met Jonas when I was working in Cambodia, and decided to leave my job. And randomly, I thought, okay, I'm going to spend the summer woofing in Sweden, since that's where Jonas was from. And I had not really been to Sweden, and just see, can I live there? What is it like? I had really no idea. And just a random friend was like, oh, instead of woofing, you should go to this place called Ridgedale. And I was like, that's like fits in perfectly with my time to do the internship. And it's like, wow, that sounds really cool. And so I decided to spend the summer with you in Ridgedale. And that really opened my eyes to the possibilities of Sweden, because I didn't know that you could buy a farm. It's actually is possible if you're willing to live in a little remote place and buy a rundown house that no one else wants to live in. Then it is.
You mean economically, the purchasing power? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, our farm, I would say, was very, very affordable for. I mean, it's not the ideal farm for most farmers. It's 6 hectares. I don't think most people would consider it a farm. And our house, a lot of people think it's abandoned because it really needs to be painted. But if you're willing to put up with those things, like, I think you can get a really nice opportunity here. And I learned that at Ridgedale, learned what you could do. So we decided to move here, and then I got pregnant much sooner than I thought I was going to. Like, we had the idea to move here first, get settled in, and then have a baby, but it happened before.
Life happens.
Yeah. So.
But hang on, I want to pause you there, Molly, because so Jonas is a sailor, right? That's his trade.
Yeah.
But he bought the farm when you weren't even in the country, right? So how did that come about?
Yeah, I think Jonas got nervous that we didn't have any place to live and we had a baby. So I was waiting for my visa. So I couldn't travel to the US, or I couldn't travel to Sweden until I got my visa. So he bought the farm, and he showed me the pictures, and it looked really nice. But at the time I was just like thinking about my baby. I wasn't really. Yeah. But it's. I think he did a really good job. I think it's a really nice place. I think there's something really special about Holland, where we live. I'm not pronouncing it right, but because we have the ocean, then there's like a strip of very fertile soil, and then we have the forest. And it's not many places in Sweden that you have all three. We're halfway between Göteborg and Malmö. Yeah. And we are like actually really close to our farm is like the last place that this West Coast Vikings lived. So people have been farming our farm for over 1,000 years, and like people find artifacts all over here.
Super cool.
Yeah, and our place, Leah, like, yeah, you can look at the history of farming, that there's records of it, and we have really good black soil, and we live in a river valley, and I think it's just a really cool place. It has really cool culture, and people here are very friendly.
Really nice.
Yeah, like even our small town, we are like 1,000 people. There's people from all over the world living there. So I think it's
makes it comfier for you moving in. And
yeah, we're definitely not the only, or I'm definitely not the only foreigner. There's plenty of foreigners here.
What did Jonas have an equal sort of interest in farming, or is he? I know he still actively sales, right? So was it more your thing to have a farm?
Yeah, it's more my thing, and Jonas has been helping me, but yes, starting next year he won't. He really loves he likes the lifestyle, but the actual farming is not. He likes to sail, so he can do farming sometime, but he has that itch,
urge to get to sea.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why we picked this farm, because it is near the coast. It's like 10 minutes drive to the coast. But he likes building stuff, and he's been, like, last year and this year he's really helps me with these big infrastructure projects, like renovating the barn, building the eggmobile. He built the polytunnel. Like, he's doing all those projects that I'm not really into. So and then, like, next year, those big projects will be more or less set up, so I don't really need as much help with those things. So day to day right now, he doesn't do the vegetables or anything. That's just me. If I really need his help, I can help him, but he's working on basically building projects. So